Hi guys, I wanted to come on today and talk about how to detach from the character of Simone, of whoever you are, in a healthy way. Why in a healthy way is because we can absolutely detach from the character by suppressing our emotions, by denying who we are, by creating another mask of illusion. But essentially what happens is all this other stuff, this other character is still buried beneath the surface, and she comes up eventually to kind of roar about something, right? So how to detach in a healthy way. So the first step for me, I made some notes, so just mind me if I peep down every now and again. I was going to just share this through my experience, but I thought, let me actually get clear on exactly what it was, step by step, fluff, that supported my detachment in the past. I'm going through the process again. So the first one is to become aware of your thoughts, because most of us don't even realize that we're thinking. We know we're thinking because we're always in there, but we don't know what we're thinking. You know, it's just like all of a sudden I'm taking an action and that reveals the thought. All of a sudden I'm having a feeling and that reveals the thought, or some negative emotional rise or something. Then it's like, oh, this thought must be true. So we want to become aware of the fact that we're thinking, right? So start by observing the thoughts. The next is, give me a second, question the truth of them. Is this thought true? Byron Katie's 4 questions are very helpful for that. I have a video on that. You can have a look at that. So question the truth of the thought and start to doubt them. Start to doubt them. Start to pull the awareness back from being so kind of enmeshed in the thought, for the thought being you, into observing it from a distance. The next is to become aware of the feelings. Notice what you're feeling in your body, right? Emotionally. Notice your feelings, even energetically, if you have the sensitivity to notice the energetics or the energy that's around you, that's impacting you. Notice the body and the feelings and the sensations in the body. And now all of this is being done through non-judgment. So we are trying to become aware without judging anything to be good or bad. And then the next step is to notice the belief behind the feeling, right? So I'm having a feeling because I've had some thoughts that have been on repeat for a while, and now they've created this belief, which is what's creating this feeling that feels so real. So become aware of what is the belief that I'm holding behind this feeling. And now because we've already started to become aware of the thoughts, and we've started questioning the truth of the thoughts and seeing that the thoughts are actually not true through Byron Katie's questioning that I mentioned, it's helpful to notice or to see or to use that method to see that actually every thought that we think can be doubted and can almost through the questioning process be proved to be incorrect. And so it really helps to know with practice that, okay, if those thoughts for all these weeks I've shown myself are not true, then it's most likely that these ones are also not true. So eventually you don't need to go through the whole process every time. You just kind of know, I don't need to believe this thought. I don't need to listen to this thought. And then the same thing happens with the feelings, because now the feeling is attached to a belief and a thought, which we've already started unraveling and we've already started seeing is not true. And so as we continue with this process, we start to notice the tricks of the mind and the emotional body. And it already starts to kind of draw us back, right? We already start to become these observers of this scene that's playing out. Next is... that was my next, is to know that the beliefs and thoughts the beliefs are thoughts that are held over a long period of time. And then to notice how this makes the feeling untrue, right? Not to invalidate the feelings, because the character really was injured. The character really did have pain that felt very real. So to the character, all of that is very real. So we're not denying the existence of this character, this personality that has had traumatic experiences, right? But we're observing them from a distance. We're allowing this character to have its feelings and its thoughts. We're not trying to stop them. We're not trying to even change them, right? So we can use affirmations for that, but we're not even doing that. We're not trying to change anything. We're just observing that it's all a lie, right? The next one is to take the position more and more of that non-judgmental awareness, which I've already touched. You see, all of this is kind of meshed in anyway, so I didn't actually need to write it out in points. But nonetheless, it's helpful to make each one something specific to bring you awareness. So more and more become non-judgmental awareness. Observe the thoughts, observe the emotions, and then start to draw the awareness back. So I'm observing them from here. I am non-judgmental awareness. And then essentially observe emotional and mental rises without judgment forever. As this happens, of course, forever is a long time. And I know personally that I was really, really good at it at one point where it was kind of second nature. I didn't have to think about it anymore. It was just who I was. And then consciousness contracts and all of that happens. And all of a sudden I'm finding that, oh boy, I'm believing the thoughts and the character again. And now I'm fully identified with this character again. And I'm having to go through the whole process of observing from a distance that actually this character doesn't even exist, right? We're not denying, again, we're not denying the character's existence. We're not denying anything. We're just moving the awareness back and observing how everything that this character believes to be true and feels emotionally because of the thoughts and the beliefs is not true. And so with time, she gets quieter. So in the beginning, there's going to be plenty to observe. You'll be very busy, which is great. But with time, the more you observe and the more the ego or this personality realizes that it's not in the driver's seat anymore, it kind of starts to surrender on its own. And it gets quieter and quieter on its own. You don't have to push anything. You don't have to say an affirmation to believe anything. You don't have to create a new character. In fact, this was actually the process that helped me to strip away all the beliefs, all the characters, that helped me strip away the illusion of this whole 3D reality that we are currently experiencing. This physical vessel still needs to eat, so please continue to eat unless you're on a breatharian path. If you are, find a good teacher, and you still need to eat for a while before you're actually able to survive off prana. And also, I don't know how long you'd be able to survive off prana. But the point is, we still are in this physical reality. We're still navigating this physical reality. And as long as we are, there are certain rules that we need to abide by. So becoming that pure non-judgmental awareness, you eventually sort of identify with that. And even to say identify is not correct because that is the truth. So you don't have to make it an identity because that is always as it is. It is never changing. There is never any external stimuli that makes it anything different than pure non-judgmental awareness. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this video was helpful and that you can begin practicing observing the thoughts. Observe how many they are. Start to doubt them and question them. Observe the feelings. Notice how many they are. Notice how they're attached to a belief and to another series of thoughts. Begin to observe them without judging them to be good or bad. Just notice them playing out and slowly start to bring yourself more and more into that non-judgmental awareness. Eventually, you will just be able to remain there for a period. Wishing you a really wonderful day, and I will see you guys on the next one.